Hi everyone, it's Gail, and I just wanted to show you really how well the indicators worked on futures today. You can see that in this case the market had made, and this is a daily chart, sorry, we had a reversal bar here, and notice how it closed below the moving average here. So it comes back and it tests the medium moving average, and today it has went up and it's tested the blue moving average again. The reason it's testing that is to find a resistance area that could potentially push price down. Now, we know that it should come back to the ATR at 7228.75. And if you look here, you'll see the magenta dot that was formed on this bar. When we go down to the 360, you can see this was the move down. And again, it broke through all the moving averages. So it needs to come back and it needs to test for resistance to see if it's going to push it down again. And in this case, you can see that we're developing a reversal bar on the 360. Now from there, let's go down to the 60-minute chart. Now you can see that initially today it actually pushed up. It started about 5 o'clock this morning and it pushed up. Then it formed a high here, formed a reversal bar pattern here that's a pivot high, and now it's pushing it back down. Now I suspect it will go down to 73.39.5 before it starts to go back to test for resistance. You can also see again, you've got that pink dot, and that's showing you that this is moving down to the ATR. Now let's go down to a lower time frame, because this is just my big picture overview, okay? And this is something you need to probably watch a couple of times if these patterns are new to you, because they play out over and over and over again. So now we go down to the 45, the 12, and the 3. Okay, you can see here this is pretty much the same move from the 60-minute chart today. It pushes up off of this ATR. In other words, this is where it found support. It pushes up, forms this reversal bar, and then it started to come down about 10:30 this morning. Now, if you notice, this is the same pattern that I pointed out last time. Moved down through the moving averages, comes back to test it for resistance. It does act as resistance, and then it pushes down again. Now, you had an entry here at 11:36 this morning where it tested the blue moving average. Then it goes down, comes back and tests the blue again. It still holds, moves down, comes back to test again here. And of course, it is still resisting an upward move. Now, this one also had what we refer to as hidden divergence. And this is one of the patterns that I use on the stochastics. You can see you made a higher high here, but in price you actually made a lower high. That actually indicates that it is going to be a very, very large move. And really, the stochastics is the one that shows it the best, okay? Now, if you go down to a 3-minute, which is typically my entry chart, then you can see, okay, this is where it tested the congestion dot, moves down, comes back to test the ATR, moves down, comes back to test the ATR, moves down, comes back, tries to break through this ATR and actually flips it. But this one cannot break through the line of congestion dots. You actually get divergence here. This is just a standard trend divergence. Down it comes again, comes back to test the moving averages here, comes down again. Each one of these is what we call waves in the market, okay? And notice how each one of these waves, with the exception of this first one, each one was marked by the pink dot. This is why we use the pink dot. It's because it tells us, hey, this is where traders are going to start taking profits. In other words, these traders already in the market, they need to take some of that profit, and that's what generates these magenta dots here. So this gives you a heads up. This down here is not the place of entry. What's the place's entry is let them take profits and then get that bearish bar and come into the market. And these patterns will play out. Doesn't matter what time frame you're using. It is going to play out on any time frame. You can, if you want to trade 5-minute binaries and you're really quick and you can spot them, they'll play out. Can you do it on a 3-minute, 12-minute, 45-minute? It works on all of these time frames, okay? I prefer to trade the touch brackets because I'm looking at this move, okay? This is the move that I want, is the bigger move, because like right now, my anticipation is it will go out and take out 72.88. Okay, that's going to be a really, really big move. How could I time that? Well, I could actually let this retrace and test for resistance before I enter. That would be one way. You could also go back to the lower time frames and this is the way you have to think about it, 2-hour binary, 2-hour binary, 2-hour binary, 2-hour binary, okay? So, any of these, the methods would work. You could go up to the 12-minute chart. Here's your 2-hour binary. You could do a call spread on this one. It's just so many ways to trade these setups with Nadex that, to me, it's just amazing. So I will be doing some webinars next week, and I will send you an email and let you know. But in the meantime, just kind of memorize these formations, because this is something that you want to trade.